Hello everyone and welcome to Laurence Plays Factorio Space Exploration. And in the last episode I was out here on this planet of, I think this is Trelos. I was building up a new core mining facility because I didn't have enough core fragments coming in through all of my, for all of the, all the ore that I'm using basically. And so the idea was that this planet here would have a system that digs up core fragments and then we've got another place to ship them off. Now, I ran into a little bit of a problem here because this ship didn't have, because I landed here and I didn't have any fuel on board. So I've set up a system here that's producing rocket fuel. It's also fueling up this ship, which is why it's sitting here doing this sort of scanning across itself thing. Because at the moment it only has enough, only has 587 out of 600 gigajoules of fuel needed to take off. So sooner or later that's going to take off. I did also manage to refuel, give it enough ion stream, hopefully to get to Norvis orbit, which is its next stop, by pulling some of this out of my spaceship when it was there. So this should be okay. It just needs to pull in a little bit more fuel, and then it'll be ready to take off, and things should just start working. Now the problem with this, or the thing, maybe I don't know whether it's going to be a problem. We'll see how it goes. Is that this is when you crush the oily core fragments, that's these ones coming out here. They are in fact oily. You get out quite a lot of oil as well. And we've got all these tanks over here that are, as you can see, nearly full. And we're turning that into rocket fuel as quickly as we can because that is a nice sink for the for all of the oil I've got. But there's quite a lot of that to go, and it's going to it's not really being used up fast enough to empty these tanks, as you can see. So the idea is that we fuel this up, and hopefully we'll be pumping out enough rocket fuel into these spaceships that we'll be able to use up a decent chunk of this oil. But at the moment that's not the case, so I think I need to come back out here with some more oil refineries and some more fuel refineries, and generally give this whole thing a boost. Nope, there we go. The spaceship is now gone, so that's flying back to over to Norvis to unload that. And so in that time, oh yeah, the other thing I need to do is I need to stop putting these in, because this is. So, yes, back in the dim and distant past, I designed one of these systems with, it was, instead of being a 4 to 5, which is what you actually need, I used a 4 to 6 balancer, and one of them wasn't doing anything. And that meant we didn't get balance across all of these warehouses. So I put in some inserters to rebalance it and make things a bit more sensible. But that didn't work at all. As you can probably imagine, it just made things, well, it sort of unbalanced things in the opposite direction, and then I came across here and I fixed the balancer, and yeah, things aren't quite right. So there should be about 10,000, 11,000 stuff in one of these. This one's got about 1,000. This one's got about 20,000. So as you can see, all the numbers are the wrong way around. So these inserters will hopefully do a bit of fixing, and then once they're done, I can pull them out. Hey Black Crow, welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. And well, things are going okay. I don't know if you've noticed or can tell, but I think I sound a bit croaky at the moment because I've managed to pick up COVID, so I'm not at my best and brightest. I've got a little bit of a sore throat, and we'll see how talking constantly for 3 hours helps with that or affects that. We'll see. On the plus side, I say plus side, it's a pretty minor plus side, but I would normally be at a rehearsal on a Thursday night, which is why I don't normally stream on Thursdays. But 11 people in the cast, which is I think more than half, no, 12 people in the cast, sorry, which I think is more than half of us have got COVID at the moment, so the rehearsal's been cancelled. So instead I thought I'd catch up because I'm having missed yesterday's stream. So yeah, so here I am. I'm not sure how long I can be bothered to watch this for. But the idea is, as long as there's enough in each of these to fill up 2 trains, which, to be honest, there probably is going to be, then it's going to basically be okay. Ha! Yes, it's a big old run. I feel like I'm quite a long way through it, but I don't think I'm going to make an enormous amount of progress tonight because I think thinking about complicated things is just going to make my brain fall apart and turn to cheese. So I'll just sort of wander around and fiddle with things and just sort of tinker with it until I can get and just try and improve bits and pieces here and there. So oh yes, this problem with the stupid inserters, I think is a problem in other places as well. So let's have a quick look around. See if where else have I been setting these things up? So there aren't any on Gerofen. Asalia might have them actually. That was a fairly recent one. Yes, it does. 15 as opposed to 5. Wow. Yeah, that's way out of whack. So we'll leave that one moving some over as well. So Trelos and Asalia, it's both the oily places so far. Let's have a look at Myokin as well while we're at it. Have I been stupid here as well? Yes, I have. Um, Now, in this case, it matters a bit less because the all well, no, this warehouse is actually full, so I don't know. I don't know whether it matters or not. But anyway, I'll try and balance these out a little bit. These ones are oh, this one's interesting. This is one where it was set up with a 4 to 6 rather than a 4 to 5. So that's completely wrong. So yeah, this is just horrible. Let you know what. Let's ignore this and just get rid of those. I don't know if they'll actually be removed, but at least they'll stop if I do that. Yes, I did notice the bonus inserters. I think I talked about them in the last video, but and so that's why I'm going around and having a sort of pulling them all out. Yes. Hey mate, thanks for joining. Yes, I've been doing the recaps are quite nice. I've noticed they tend to be the most popular videos by a fairly significant margin, um, which is I suppose makes sense because if you're trying to catch up reasonably quickly, then they're good ones to watch to give you an idea of what's been going on. Um, so yeah, and I would encourage you to watch all of the videos because of course I would. I want to get as many views on the channel as I can. But yes, if the it's definitely watching the recaps is an excellent way to get caught up initially. So, yes, good. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy the stream as well because it's there's always plenty to do and lots to think about and so on. So I think the streams tend to work quite well. Yeah, this is wrong as well. Let's flip that round. This one, of course, has stalled because there's too much, or there's not enough cryonite being used elsewhere. I don't get through cryonite particularly quickly. I mean, I'm making quite a lot of. I'm shooting a bit of ice offers in the delivery cannons. I'm loading up rockets with it, but we don't seem to get through it all that quickly. So, yeah, it's a bit of a slow process. Was that a deliberate pun, Crow, saying you're sorry to hear that I've coughed the Rona? Yeah. All right, let's go back around again. So Trelos was the first one. No. Oh yeah. Um, I don't think I am using the cryonite thermofluid recipe. Um, I suppose it's an extra bit of infrastructure to bring it in, so I haven't actually done that yet. But that's a point. I mean, it might be a way of using up a bit more of the cryonite because it is basic. Well, it is actually literally free. Well, no, all it costs is a bit of rocket fuel in order to get it over there, and that's not exactly expensive. So yeah, swapping over to that one might be quite a good idea. Yeah, and true, it's a good point because making the thermofluid is a fairly expensive process because it requires lots of various. Why am I looking there? Lots of various oil things. So yes, that might make sense. Let's have a look. Um, I don't know how to. Yeah, FNEI never seems to quite work as I want it to. So supercooled thermofluid is made by cold thermofluid and cryonite slush, or by cold thermofluid, and you get 10 to 5. Oh wow! Oh no, it's spitting out 5 and 5. 10 to 10, and 15 to 10. So making the supercooled it doesn't destroy any, but it'd be a bit quicker and a bit more efficient. Making the cold is 10. I think actually it's only what? No. I think it's only making the cool thermofluid, this one, that actually has any chance of destroying any, isn't it? Here we go. 500 to 499, 50 to 49, 10 to 9. They're getting worse and worse, obviously. Is there an even better? No, so there isn't another one that. Oh, no, that's making cables. No, there isn't a better way of doing that. So it's um yeah. So making the sorry, words are difficult. Making the cool thermofluids or the colder thermofluids doesn't become any more actually efficient in the amount of thermofluid it uses if you use cryonite, but it does make it a bit quicker. You can get potentially a larger quantity of the thermofluid out per operation. So it might be better for that reason, but it's not quite as much of a difference as I was suspecting from what you were saying. That's close enough on that one. Whereas the next one was Azalea, wasn't it? So let's have a look at that one. Well, obviously I'm in direct competition with Neilau's Sir Spirit, so hopefully I'm going to be far more interesting than he is, and everyone will watch me instead of him. Yes, that's my story and my hope, and I'm definitely sticking to it. Oh dear. Yeah, well, what can you do? If somebody wants to if somebody wants to run a stream at the same time as me, what can you do? And it was either that or just not have a stream this week. So I thought, given that the opportunity came up, it was a better way to do it. Where was the other one? So it was Trelos and Azalea and Frost, I think. Yes. I mean, it's not balanced, but it's close enough. I'll get rid of those now. So it's true. There are other things you can do with Cryonite, aren't there? So, all right, let's have a look at the slush. What does slush get made into? Okay, so there's another way to make lube. Another way to make, well, the way to make water ice. Gamma ray detectors. I'm already doing. Put it in a barrel. Oh yeah, that's the cooling I was talking about earlier. And the also cooling I was talking about earlier. So yeah, making lube possibly. Am I getting through a lot of lube? I don't know, not that. Come on. I mean, lube is definitely useful, but I don't know how much I'm actually getting through. So lube will be being made down here somewhere in the yes, here we go. Lube. I am not making it in the cryonite slush way. Okay. I have cryonite down here, but it's not for making slush. I I don't think I get through that much lube. I don't know. Actually, I'm not sure why I'm looking here. Let's look in here. This is the best way to do it. Search for lubricant made in the last 10 hours. It doesn't look like enormous amounts of it being used, so yeah. To be honest, I think virtually all of the virtually all of the resources are somewhat underutilized compared to the rate I'm making them from the from digging up core fragments, except for Vitamelange. Vitamelange I'm using as fast as I possibly can. Did you notice this? What's going on here? Why are you stopped? So you presumably don't think you're full. No, because there's no stone in it. Oh right, all the stone is going off elsewhere. So yeah, just go. um, oh true, Vulcan. Yes, we're getting through quite a lot of vulcanite, but it hasn't actually become a problem yet, I don't think. Yeah, so this failed because the stone has stopped coming through this way, because I'm piping all the stone off to be made into glass because I need enormous quantities of glass on this planet. So, yeah, that's why that failed. Shouldn't happen again because, well, it'll happen with this one, but it won't happen again after that because I've switched all of the there won't be any stone coming down this way. He says there's small. I'm sure I just saw some stone. Yeah, there's still small amounts of stone coming through. What the hell? That shouldn't happen. Um, I suppose I should probably rewire all of this to just send the basically what I should. I probably can't though, can I? Because I need to be out here because there aren't any robots covering this area. Probably. Let's find out. Oh, there are. Okay, I can tweak the design down here a bit then. In that case, let's get rid of that and put that in there and there, and get rid of that as well. No, wait. Oh no, that's right. Okay, yeah, do that. And then here, same sort of same shenanigans. Get rid of that, and put in a belt there and there. Yeah, I thought there had to be an overflow somewhere. It shouldn't happen based on the design I've done, but that doesn't mean it won't, because, well, why would it? The other problem is I might not have enough belts for all of this shenaniganry. There's another one there I haven't done. that, and then there, and there. And presumably, am I short of... Yes, I'm short of blue belts on tulip. Okay, where can I pinch a few blue belts? If I can pinch them from over here, that'll fix things. There we go. And to be honest, from over here as well, but I'll leave those in now because I've got enough for now to get all this fixed up and working again. Yes, like that. Just like that. Right, okay. Another problem solved. Except this train is now full, so yeah, you need to just go like that. Then this one shouldn't have that problem. This one should just fill up and then be ready to go, as should this one and any other future ones in the future. So now this ship can go like this. Plip. Excellent. Right, so I think that's fixed. Now, I was also having some issues up here, I think, with the naquium processing speed. Although, looking at this, I do seem to have a basically full belt of the vitalic acid coming up here. So I think that's probably about enough. About as much, or rather, about as much as it's ever been. And so that's as good as it's going to get. We are producing naquium at the rate it gets produced at. So this seems to be all right. So I won't worry about that for now. Let's have a look on Norvis Orbit, see if we do actually have any vulcanite at the moment, because I'm kind of curious, because we never do seem to have enough. No, 313, okay. But I did notice earlier that the science production over here has basically backed up on Deep Space Science 1 and 2. So we might not have a great supply of naquium, but there is a decent amount of it in the there's enough in the system that we've got a lot of science packs ready now that could be used for any random science I feel like doing. And did I yeah, so I think it'd be a good idea to research Deep Space Science Catalog 3s. That'd be very useful to have. Making bigger spaceships may be useful, I'm not sure. Long range star mapping sounds like fun. Let's do at least one of those. A dimensional anchor, I have no idea what that is, so it's probably going to be very useful. I don't think I need better jetpacks. I've got good enough jetpackery at the moment. Worker robot speed might be quite nice, although I'm not really using the bots very much. Better lasers, meh. Better beacons, that could be quite nice, although these are ludicrously expensive to make, if I remember correctly. Yes, they require naquium tesseract, so that's a bit crazy. Mining productivity would be quite nice. Oh, is it? Oh, yeah, so it is. All right, let's forget that. I probably don't need any more of those. Let's set that one. Let's set the mining productivity going, because that's probably quite a nice one to have. I feel it'd be vaguely appropriate to research the plague as well, given my current state. So we'll set that one going too. There was something else I was going to look at while I was... Oh, yes, after the conversation earlier on Discord. So 500% or 665% research speed, 66.5, and productivity of plus 133%. That's not bad. I think we've got those. Yes, those are tier 8 modules in there, I think. Yes, tier 8 modules in there, and mostly tier 3s, but a couple of tier 9s. Okay, so I could speed that up, but as you can see by how fast this is going, I don't think it needs to be that much quicker. It's doing the research pretty damn quick as it is. I mean, yeah, sure, if I start doing, say, the mining productivity, that's going to take a long time. Oh, that's the next one, in fact. Already got that, because it's 17,000. But even so, the speed on the lab was 66.5. So, base speed times 6.5-ish. Pretty quick. But that's all from this beacon over here. Now, it'd be fairly easy to come over here and upgrade all of these speed modules to the better ones that I've been making over here. And I have just about got enough of those now, so I could. But I don't think it needs it. I think this is actually doing science fast enough. This one is a this is 2000. So this is going to be a it'll take a while, but if it's running at 60 times speed, it's going to take 2000 seconds, which isn't an enormous amount of time. I think that's probably fast enough. So I'll leave that for now. So I've not really done anything yet this stream. Let's have a look at my to-do list and see what we want to see what I feel like would be a good next step. So I was talking about heading over and tweaking the some of the stuff on Trelos, because that needs that needs a meteor defense system setting up. So that's something I could do. So where do the... Let's see. I think I probably want to do this from down on Norvis surface, actually. So down here, when the spaceships land to unload the core fragments, I want to load um, meteor defense ammunition into them as well. Now that requires me to have a spaceship land here so I can tell where it is, like that. Now one of these two squares down here, I think it's here. One of the other spaceships has a box there to accept it, so I'll put that there. And if I put a yeah, one of these blue chest there, I can there, then I can have it request. And the idea of this is that I can use this then to take out meteor defense ammunition out to some of the outposts that don't have the facilities to build it themselves, because probably because I can't be bothered, which is a pretty good reason, I think. And so this way they'll actually have the weaponry available to deal with it. Why is this backed up? Oh, it's not backed up. It's just it's because it's compressing it down from 6 or 5 belts onto 1 belt. That's why it looks like it's backed up. That's fine. Okay, halfway. Oh, and I need a pylon as well. Let's not put that there. It doesn't matter, but it looks silly. And you can request some meteor defense ammo, that stuff. 200 probably. And then this will automatically load it into the spaceships when they arrive. Oh, hello, Van Helsing. Yes, now you've said it in a language I understand. I can respond. Okay, so which is the ship I just built? Solar Wind. Oh, that's the. Oh yeah. So there should be a ship in here somewhere with a silly name. Well, sillier than all the rest of them. Because I don't think I renamed the Trelos one. But I can't find it. So, an asteroid? No, that's the one that goes to asteroids. Duh. That key. There we go. Chimera. That's the sort of name I wouldn't give a ship. Yeah. So this one has got a box there, you see, and that's going to have the cannon ammunition put into it. That's true. There will always be a spaceship there, and it does have significant coverage outside. So yeah, it would have been fine without the pylon. That's a fair point. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. It's been fun getting to this point. I'm obviously always trying to expand it, and well, both YouTube and Twitch actually. So at the moment, I try to mostly push people who are watching the streams over to Twitch, and then try and convince people on Twitch to go over to YouTube to watch the videos. And I don't know how effective that is, but hopefully it will work reasonably well. So yes, this ship will load up to an entire row of meteor defense ammunition in there, and then it'll go back out to Trelos, and those will then be unloaded onto this system here, which will then allow this to start firing and protecting me from all those nasty meteorites that come in. So notably, these trains have both filled up, so that's pretty quick. It looks like this sort of whole chunking system does seem to be working quite well. It's just the eternal got too much oil and don't know what to do with it problem. So, right, let's see if I've got any. Let's empty some of this nonsense out of my inventory first. I don't know why I've got a load of. Oh, yes, I do know why I've got a load of metal ores in my inventory. Actually, it's from from when I started mining a bit when I was trying to make extra things out on Trelos, because when I stranded myself there, it was a. Oh, what am I doing? Apart from forgetting how to play. Do that, and then the stone goes in that one, and copper again. There we go. I've got some coal as well. You? No. I have to find somewhere more sensible to put that, like an actual. Oh, here we go. Coal can go in there. Rocket fuel I'll keep. Modules I suppose I'll keep for now. Is that tier 9? It is. I don't know what to do with an efficiency 9. I don't tend to use the efficiencies quite so much, but I'm sure I'll find somewhere to put it. Why do I have logistics bots? Let's get rid of those. Right, so what I want to see is, are there any oil refineries up here in orbit that I can be brought? Because I don't really want to have to go down to Norvis if I can avoid it. 10 is probably a good number, with some at least. And let's have some fuel refineries as well. So how many am I getting? Oh, I'm getting all 10. Nice. Oh no, I'm getting 6 of them, sorry. I can't read. Don't know why there's no fuel refineries up here. That seems like a useful thing to have. Let's order some. Now, they probably won't. The next spaceship probably won't come up soon enough for this to be useful. I might have to go down to Norvis anyway. In which case, I should probably refuel when I come back up here, just because. Otherwise, I'll not have any of the stuff I need. But let's have a look down on Norvis and see how soon we're going to be getting another spaceship. And let's turn off that on the map as well. How full are you? Oh, pretty full actually. Maybe we will get those um, fuel refineries through before I need to go. Yes, here they come. And I could always launch the spaceship manually, I suppose. Oh, let's see if some beer helps with the symptoms. Beer is totally medicinal against COVID, right? I'm sure that's how it works. Okay, well I've got 104 because of the way this thing works. But never mind, that'll do. Let's let that finish filling up, and that'll be close enough. Okay, so that'll give me enough to go out to Trelos and sort of speed up the whole oil processing, and therefore the amount of amount of core chunks I can get through on that planet. Although it doesn't seem to actually be a problem at the moment. The speed those trains filled up at, we might find that the limiting factor is actually the core chunks, not the oil. So that seems to be going pretty well. I do need to get the meteor defense done, but I've done that. I possibly want to start thinking about Deep Space Science 3, but that's a thinky thing, so I'm not going to do that until I'm a bit healthier and my brain works properly again. I do need to get some more probe rockets going out to Realm of Shadows. That's just a thing that involves flying across the base a couple of times. No, I'm not drinking Corona. We did have a couple of cases of Corona a couple of years ago, but I don't drink that stuff myself, so it wasn't me getting through it. But yes, it is an amusing way of looking at it. Okay, oh, actually no, there actually are some probe rockets in there already, so this presumably is all right. What? Why have you got this? Not what? I don't understand why that's got what it's got in it. Shouldn't there be? Yeah, there should be one of these, but it should be requesting. That's very weird. It should be request. Yes, it should be requesting some probe rockets and some deep space probes. So let's do that. Probe. Interstellar void probes. Let's have 5. And where are and then probe rockets. Where are no, not problem rockets, although sometimes they are. Probe rockets, there we go. And I'll have 5 of those, please. Right, there we go. Get those loaded in there. Right, so that's now ready to go out and restock on that. I mean, I do already have... No, okay, no, I've used up all of the interstellar probes. That's interesting. Probe data. That's quite interesting because I thought I had loads of that, but apparently not. Okay, well, I think I've fixed that problem for now anyway. Has that taken all the ones that were in this chest out? No, there's still 2 left there. Okay. In that case, I think I do need to go over and try and get some more probe rockets and fly it out there. Yeah, and also alcohol's an anesthetic, so presumably that means it'll help a little bit with general feelings of malaise due to the plague. And also, I quite like drinking beer, so maybe it'll help with morale in general as well. Although that said, I also quite like streaming, which is why I thought I'd give it a shot, even though I might not be at my best. So I'm sure you'll forgive me if I stop slightly earlier than I normally would. But 20, that's a good number. But yeah, I think I'm glad I'm doing at least a bit of it, and I seem to be able to talk at least reasonably well. Well, I mean, the making the noises isn't the problem. It's the thinking what to say that's the problem, and that's actually, to be honest, is slightly worse than normal. I'm usually slightly more eloquent than this. Disclaimers. Okay, over here, there's the box. Put in the rockets. There we go. And now this should also... Why are you not pro? Okay, what's going on here? Oh, it's connected to the logistics network, so there's still 5 over here in this thing. So as soon as the ship leaves, it'll start making some more. But for now, that's what we're getting. Right, probe rockets for Realm of Shadows. Right, okay, I can actually cross something off on the list. Nice. Let's do that. I think I can also cross off the Trelos Meteor Defense because I've done that as well. I mean, it's still a bit proof of concept. I haven't put all the stuff through, but in theory that should now be working. I should also cross these off in a different colour, so when I come back to try and make the video later and work out what I've been doing, I can actually tell which ones I've done in this session as opposed to different sessions. Probe rockets, there we go. Signals in Realm of Shadows. Oh yes, that's why there's a load of signals on this spaceship. So if we have a look out at Realm of Shadows, let's see if that's been fixed yet. Because there was a problem around here with a lack of signals that still is actually kind of problematic. Um, So I'm going to need another one of these somewhere. Here will probably do. Here would be slightly nicer. Oh, that one I'll get. Actually, that roboport will get both of those. So yes, that will get that built once the ship comes in. So that's sort of basically sorted. So I'll cross that off as well. Oh yes, I need to start making beacons in space. That's another thing because I'm running out of beacons. I'm not sure where I was making them. I think I was making them in space, but I think I've also demolished the machine that was doing it when I moved over to the new bus system and haven't replaced it. So that's something I should probably do. Trelos needs an oil sink. Yes, it does. So we'll head over to the meteorite ammo to Trelos. Yes, done that. Oh yes, and I was thinking about putting better modules in my core processing thing. So I was talking about how I'm setting up extra systems to deal with the. Excuse me a second. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Try it again. More words. Yes, I've been setting up. I've been talking quite a bit about how I've not got enough core fragments coming in on Norvis for all of the resources I'm getting through. So I went out and set up better, more effective systems for producing all of the core fragments. But it's been pointed out to me that actually a good way to improve that would be to come along and upgrade all of these from being tier 3 modules to being perhaps tier 5 or tier 6 modules. And that would probably presumably double the bonus. So I get an extra 30% on my productivity over the plus 30 I've got already, which would mean an extra quarter. So it's not a small amount. That's probably quite worthwhile. So I think that's probably worth doing. Hi Mike, welcome. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining, etc., etc., etc. Good to have you here. I've been saying that given my current levels of COVID, I'm not sure how long I'm going to keep streaming for this evening, but we'll see how it goes. Basically, I'll keep going until I either feel like I'm going to pass out or until my throat hurts so much I can't talk. Yeah. So it's not ideal, but I'm doing what I can. I look like tier 5. Is this tier 6? Yes. Okay, so let's have another one of these. Pulling out from here and putting into a box. So I can putting into a red box, then I can actually get some like that. And only filling up to about there because it's going to be a lot of them otherwise. Okay, I'm not going to be able to get them this way, but never mind. Good enough. How are we doing with those? Yeah, these are all meteorites that attacked my space station before I had good enough defenses up and running. And because Factorio physics, they just sit there. They don't just they didn't just carry on moving. They just sit there like rocks in space. So I suppose they've turned from meteorites into asteroids, but they're so small they're not going to be particularly effective. Oh yes, I forgot about that. Yeah, yeah, that's quite useful. Actually have enough because I've been playing since before that was the case. I have enough guns both on the ground and in orbit that it's not an issue. Done the standard fly into your spaceship so hard that you go inside. Right, good. The spaceship has arrived with all of the stuff I wanted. So let's see if we can get the fuel refineries directly out of it. Yes, we can. Take 40 of those, I think. That's a good number. Now I can go back off to Trelos and get that sort of polished up a little bit more. Ooh, how much pipe have I got? Not very much. Let's order some more pipe before I go anywhere. Like 600 of that. And... oh, there's no underground pipes up here. Okay, I guess I should... why are there no underground... I suppose because I don't really... in theory, I don't need underground pipes up in space. I guess I'll make some by hand then. Underground pipe, that one. Yes, but make it, not request it. So I need a load of iron for that. That is something I can do. Down here somewhere. Where is it? Yes, here we go, iron. So let's take 4 of those. And that's probably going to be enough. Probably. We'll see how it goes. Worst case, I can make do with some of the space pipes. But I don't really want to use those if I can avoid it, because they're expensive. And so it's just a bit wasteful. And it sort of doesn't matter if I'm a bit wasteful with resources at this stage of the game, because I've got so much stuff, just in general, that I don't need to worry too much about the cost of mundane stuff like pipes and space pipes and things. But I still feel that it's probably worth saving the glass and the copper and the plastic and the steel if I can, and just using small amounts of iron instead. Okay, that's a decent amount. Probably do. Okay, take me to Trelos. Trelos, that one. Okay. That's 4-minute flight, okay. Right. Ask me any questions you will, because we have a 4-minute flight to kill while I head over there and find something else more interesting to talk about. So, oh yes, you might be interested to know there will be another Factorio tutorial video coming out tomorrow evening. That's the second part of my LTN tutorial, which covers sort of things like using a single station for multiple things. So, a station that can provide multiple resources, a station that can request multiple resources, stations that can request and provide mixtures of fluids and solids, all of that sort of stuff. I'll run through that to show you how to do it. And a lot of it is, if you do end up doing it, you'll be doing it for the entertainment and novelty value, rather than because it's a specific useful thing you want that you absolutely need to be able to do. But having multiple request stations can be quite useful, as I've shown in Norvis Orbit, where I've got all of these, where each station requests 6 different things. And I've actually thought of a much better way to do it than this, which I haven't actually implemented in space exploration, in my space exploration run, because I didn't think of it in time. Basically, it's as simple as that. But if you use warehouses on the outputs of these, then you can have all of the inserters dumping straight into the warehouse, and things will be much quicker. You'll be able to load and unload your trains much faster, while still using multiple resources being passed back and forth. Great. I hope it'll live up to the hype with a P, and be nice and interesting. I've got a few more tutorial videos planned. I'm thinking of doing one on sort of sending signals back and forth and transporting stuff to your various outposts in space exploration in the quantities required, whether you're using rockets or spaceships or delivery cannons. It's all basically the same sort of idea, so I think that might potentially be interesting. Although the spaceship automation one, I think, is probably going to be the most popular of the space exploration things. And there was another idea I had as well. I can't remember what it was off the top of my head, but I'm sure it'll come out sooner or later, and I hope everybody will enjoy it. The tutorial videos do seem to do quite well, which is nice. I think because they're not part of a major series like this is, I think they're easier to dip in and out of. And I think they're also useful reference videos for people. Oh yes, spaceship trains. Thank you. Yes, that was a good one. Yes, because it's definitely non-trivial, so it's worth having a bit of a chat about that and showing at least, at the very least, showing how I did it, even if it's not necessarily may or may not be the best way. But then people can make their own minds up about whether they can come up with improvements, and then they can tell me about it in the comments, and that's always interesting for everybody. Oh, still a minute and a half. I'll have some more beer. Yeah, and I'm quite pleased with the ship that hauls all of the different Vitamelange products from Tulip up to Norvis Orbit. The one that lands here, because we've got two trains on it that are hauling like 4 or 5 different products. That one's duplicated there. That one's duplicated. Yeah, so 4 different products, and the ship, I've managed to set it up so that they will leave when either train runs out of one of the things on it, which I'm quite happy with. And then on the other end, obviously, it just waits until they're full, so the other end is trivial. Yeah, I find beer helps with streams generally. Although I suppose often it's sort of a bit too early in the week for one of my streams to have a beer with them, so I tend to not to drink midweek very often. But this time I'm claiming it's medicinal, so I can get away with it. Um, right. So yes, the spaceships have yes, I have rocket fuel and ion on this one. That's because you can use rocket fuel can be used to take off from planets, but is expensive and slow and just generally not very good. So I don't want to use it for that for flying in space. Ion stream can be used for flying around in space, but not for taking off from planets, because even if you put the ion booster tanks in, they only work for taking off from space stations, not from the ground. So at some point in the future, I'll probably upgrade to antimatter spaceships, or at least I'll have at least some antimatter based spaceships, and those I believe you can use the one fuel type for everything. But for these sort of spaceships, the ones that need to touch down on a planet and fly through space, they need essentially they either need to have both, or you're limited to rocket fuel engines, and that's slow and requires lots and lots of fuel. There's the booster tanks have a built-in engines essentially for taking off. You can't use them to fly through space, but the booster tanks will allow you to take off from planets. In fact, that's the booster tanks are there to take off from planets, but they're also quite useful for storing rocket fuel because they're a bit denser than the normal tanks are. Right, here we are. Let's land about here just in case I've fluffed it up with the fuel count. Right, there we go. Oh yeah, let's take away the way those inserters. Right, there we go. Okay, so up here, what are we doing? Putting in some more refineries. That's the business. All right, so let's see. This looks like a nice easy copy paste to me. So let's take that. And why is why is the pipe missing there? I mean, honestly, what's that all about? And why is there a pipe there that should? What is? Who designed this? There we go. Right, let's grump a bit more. Oh, I don't know how this got so wrong, but no, like that. There we go. Okay, so now and now we need to pipe along here. No, no, need to pipe along here like that. Yeah, that'll work well enough, I think. Yes, I can imagine that, but spaceships being, well, spaceships, I would like an explanation as to why they can't just use those engines when they're in space as well. Is that the number of these things I've got? No, it isn't. I didn't bring that many. Okay. What? I only brought 4. Could have sworn I had at least 6. Oh no, there's the other 2. I got 6. All right. Yes, the lifting off does require more fuel. I think it's more to the point. The ion stream is faster, or ion engines, sorry, are much faster. So if it's just cargo ships, it probably doesn't matter all that much exactly which one you use. Um, where is power? Will do. Yeah, if it's just cargo ships and you don't care how long it takes, it probably doesn't matter which engines you use. But I tend to be fairly impatient, so I want my ships to run a bit faster. And I think ion stream is very energy dense. Possibly because most of the energy for the transport actually comes from the solar panels. So I think that's a good reason to use it. I suspect if you wanted to fly, for example, if I wanted to fly one of these ships, which go all the way out to the distant words, the distant asteroid fields on rocket fuel, firstly it would take about 3 days for it to get there, but also I imagine you'd require an absolutely enormous amount of rocket fuel. Yes, taking off from a planet is expensive in fuel and is the most expensive part if you're not going very far or if you've got ion engines. But I think if you're trying to do interstellar travel, then you're going to find that it's not practical without the ion drives. I could be wrong, but that's sort of the feeling I've got. Right, this seems to be quite happy now. We've got core fragments being produced faster than they're being used. I've whacked in some more of these across here. Now, presumably, the next problem is going to be that we've got too much. Interesting, too much heavy oil. Do I have any? I do have some of these. Excellent. So I can come along here. I can put in some more of this. Sort of, somehow, maybe, probably. Oh, that's about right. That works. Yes, I know I need another downpipe there. I'll put that in a moment. So it goes there, there, there. Right. Oh, and there. There we go. Right, so that'll allow me to rip through all of this heavy oil I've been generating. Over here, we are making lots and lots of rocket fuel. Now, this, I'm assuming, is going to cause this to... Yes, this is filling up quite nicely now, so I think I need to make the rocket fuel a bit quicker. So, let's take a copy of... You know, let's just copy the whole... No, let's not. Let's copy all of this first, like this. Of course, I don't have any blue belts. That's annoying, but oops. Kind of expected, I guess. I've gone outside the power area at the moment, so let's put down another big pylon, like that. There we go, that'll all run happily. I've run out of modules, but that was always going to happen. Doesn't really matter. So we should find that we're now getting an excess of this solid fuel, I think. And possibly an excess, yes, an excess of petroleum gas as well. So let's put in another one of these as well. There we go. Yeah, it would be a good tutorial actually. Well, my 3 days was absolute hyperbole. I plucked the number out of the air, but it would take a very long time for them to get out there. I don't actually know, but yeah, it could be quite interesting to do a full up comparison of all of the 3 types of engines and get a feel for how fast they can go, how much what they can do. Oh, this is belts full. Yeah, getting that feel for how fast they can go, how much stuff they can do, all that sort of thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So from here, go the other way. Oh, and we need a belt coming down here as well. Yeah, that's a good idea for another tutorial. Right, are you overwhelmed yet? Yes, you are. Good. So put in another 2 of these, because why not? 2 is a lovely number. Just be a straight through pipe, that's simple. There we go. Now, I don't have enough speed modules for all of this, which is a bit of a shame. But silly. I didn't think of that as being a thing, actually. But if I've copied this to here without speed modules, then copying this to here without speed modules should probably be about right as well. Yes, it is fantastic saying yes. I'd like all of this, but just the same again, please. And the bots do it all for you. It's brilliant. Right. So I feel this is probably okay. We've got down here some of these inserters are struggling a bit. Let's do this. Oh, now these ones aren't going to be able to exert. Oh, actually, they seem to be doing it reasonably okay. Let's do it a little bit higher up, like here. Maths is a funny creature. It doesn't seem to work properly. Anyway, so that's now... I'd say that's basically working. We've got sufficient... Actually, maybe we haven't got... Let's do that. There we go. We've got... We're using up the oil at a reasonably good rate now, I think. How are these tanks doing? They're at 19,000. They were at 23,000 before I started. So they've probably gone down a bit, but some of that might have been just dumping into all of these tanks across the top here. But we've just had a couple of trains come around here and fill up. This is all working absolutely fine. We've got 8,000 in here, so this is going as fast as it can. These tanks are all fairly full, So that's interesting. That suggests that if these tanks are all fairly full, that implies that I'm producing the fuel a lot more quickly than it's being used. So maybe I should put some more fuel tanks in that ship and get it to take more of it away, but I don't know if that would actually cause it to have... No, that wouldn't actually help, because whenever it gets here, it's going to be missing the amount of fuel required to take off from Norvis. Hmm. Where was that? Where was that ship? Uh, it had us. Oh, it's just taken off, so I should be able to find it reasonably easily. Let's have a look. From Trelos, yes, this one. Chimera, that was the name of the thing. Call it Trelos Chunks, I think, rather than anything particularly funny and clever. Uh, Trelos Chunk. Yes, this ship is also getting filled up in Norvis orbit. So, unlike most most of my ships of this type, fly from the remote planet to Norvis where they unload, then to Norvis orbit where they refuel, then back to their starting point. This one goes to Norvis orbit first because if you notice, these tanks are down to like 10,000 each because taking off from what's going on? Where is this? Trelos? What? Oh no, biters, I reckon. Yes, that sounds like biters to me. Oh, stop it. Do not want. Don't care about that. Okay, so yes, this is not a safe planet, as you just seen. Um, I do need to do some more biter extermination, apparently. So where do they come from? Over here, presumably. Right. Do I have a spare laser in Kalida's orbit? I've got you. What do you do? You are already autoclaving on Trelos. Okay, well that's good, but you're apparently not doing a good enough job of it because we just got attacked. Up here. Okay. Um, how about no? Actually, let's autoglaive somewhere vaguely near my base where the biters are coming from. Now, it might have been, could have been these ones up here, actually. Let's attack them first. And now let's have a look at the map and see where the pollution cloud goes. Yeah, so it was probably these guys up here, because they're the ones that are inside the energy what's name. Now, um, yeah, I haven't even explored very much of it yet. But the part of the reason I came here was because it was such a big planet. What I really need to do is put a wall across here and here and here with all the defences on it. Just to keep the biters down here as well. They're really close. With all defense, I mean, there's a few lasers. These have got no kills yet. That is obviously a nest. Hmm. No, the core fragment output was pretty quick because I've only got I've got two miners and they are there and two more down here, and between them they're basically spitting out an entire blue belt. So I'd say it's pretty quick. I probably could pull more out, but at the moment the limiting factor is how fast I can get spaceships in and out. I could put in a second spaceship actually. That might be quite a nice way to do it. Especially given we seem to have more fuel than we know what to do with. Yeah, maybe that's a good idea. Um, let's put in some more tanks for the rocket fuel first, though. And over here, I guess, so it's not so far for it to trickle. Yeah, and at the moment, I think this is probably sufficient. As I say, I could make another copy of that spaceship and have two of them flying out to Trelos. In fact, that's probably a good idea. No, they're not. The two of these trains store about the same amount of stuff as a warehouse. The reason I'm using these is because it means they're really, really quick to unload. So when they get to Norvis, the trains can come out, they can unload into these warehouses really quickly, and then get back on the ship and go. So then there's plenty. Then it's easy for the next ship to come in and land and take off again, and for it to take off again. Apparently I have too much iron. Who'd have thought it? Um, so iron is not currently being... Copper is being used. Iron is not. Huh. Oh, the steel is, though, actually. So we might have a train being requested around here fairly soon. -3, trip 30. Okay. No, it'll take quite a long time for us to get another train being requested here, but eventually we will. Um, hmm. More of a concern is the glass down here, which is using the stone up. I don't know how much stone I've got. This is a bit of a worry, actually. If this was ground to a halt because there's too much iron, and I don't really have a good way of getting rid of the iron. Funny thing is, I was playing with ideas earlier. You see, here we go. The ships have unloaded from there, and now they go back. The train, they can get the trains have unloaded. Sorry, and the trains can just go back round straight onto the ship, and it's ready to go very, very quickly. We haven't even started unloading the trains yet, but even now, it's pretty quick to unload the trains because I've got the sort of the full 6 inserters on for each thing they carry. But the ship has already gone, and it's now, yeah, it's just quicker. Well, you say that. Having a look at Norvis Orbit now, this system here, where we're loading in the sulfur on a belt like this, which is the other way to load a ship, this is really slow. Um, yeah, this is really, really slow. And unloading the naquitite is also pretty slow as well, although that doesn't stack as high, so it doesn't matter quite as much, or it doesn't have quite as much of an effect. But yeah, this has 6 times the storage of the core mining ships, but it takes a long time to load up. Yes, I think it's fair to say the space base uses most of the resources. No, I don't know. Yes, I don't have unloaders because they're not a vanilla part of the game, or vanilla part of this mod pack either, for that matter. So yeah, I haven't added them in. I think when I do the K2 run, then yes, it'll help a bit. But to be honest, even with loaders, it's still going to be slower to do it like this than it will be to have. I suppose you'd have 6 of them going straight across from one warehouse here, 6 loaders on the other side, so it would be pretty quick. Yeah, so it would actually be quicker. Yes, maybe well, my next run is probably going to be a K2 run, so we'll have them there. I think the biggest energy beam is well, clearly it's this one. I think this one goes oh, this one this is the one for charging up spaceships because they're only there in theory, they're only there for a relatively short time, so I wanted to charge them up as quickly as possible. Apart from that one, it's this one here, which is for Tulip, which is the planet where all of the naquium processing is being done, because that's using a lot of modules in an attempt to get a bit more stuff out of it. Um, you might be right. Yeah, I suppose it's possible actually that yes, we could get to a point where this is completely full of sulfur. Yeah, that's a good point. If that happens, the ship will never leave, but it is a possible point where it might jam up. Because yes, if this side fills up completely with sulfur and iron, and then there's no way to take out the naquium from here, then yes, you're quite right. That could cause problems. Hmm. It, um. The No, the energy beams just keep beaming energy the whole time. So however, the energy beam receiver, yes, I'm using this as a big sort of thermal battery. So when the spaceship leaves, it uses the heat held in the energy beam receiver to power it all the way out to Realm of Shadows. It then dumps a load of hot steam in Realm of Shadows as well through this pipe in order to power my entire mining operation out there, and then flies back over here to get heated up again. It is already rather heated though, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to borrow that for a little while, and I'm going to do some autoglaving. Off and Trelos, and oh no, there's some down here, weren't there? Let's get that one first. Somewhere. Where was it? Oh, here. Nope. Oh, okay, we've got those ones. I think there was some more over to the west, though, that I was going to try and get. Alright, we'll start here. Autoclave. Pew! And this is this has 8 beam injectors, so it should be nice and quick. That would fix it, Tristan, but it would then be rather slow at passing it across, and we'd have a bit of a bottleneck there. So no, I don't think so. I don't think that's a good solution. Well, I mean, actually, at the rate it's unloading at the moment, it wouldn't really matter. But if we assume we're trying to get stuff going, 3 and 3 probably would be okay. Yeah, especially as there's only 4 unloading here and they're unloading onto a belt. All right, let's do that. Crushed naquitite, you, and then green cable for this, I think, because it's something different. Enabled when crushed naquitite is 0. Did I copy that the right way around? Yes, I did. Also, those are blacklisted. There we go, let's fix that. Oh, yeah, yep. Yeah, I think... I suspect a circuit condition that says only put through crushed naquitite until all the crushed naquitite is gone is beyond the sensible levels of circuitry. I don't think... I'm not aware of there being a limit on these beam systems. However, each one of these uses a gigawatt of power, so at that point you're going to have you're going to need enormous quantities of energy being generated in order to be able to beam it sensibly. I mean, this system here is using 9 gigawatts of power, because this uses 1 as well. So yeah, if you tried to put 1,000 on it going out up here, you'd end up with a rather power hungry system, should we say? No, it's my sanity and that restricts me to sensible levels of things. They always go the wrong way. I mean, these energy glaives never seem to attack things the way I want them to. And press the wrong button. And this one went straight past this. It started up here. It came down, burned down here, straight past this base without killing it. Stupid thing. Now where's it going? It's going after the worms. Okay, that's fair enough. Now it's going for that one, but it's ignored this one here completely. And it went from here down this way rather than up this way to where it'd be actually be useful. It certainly kills nests and worms. Whether it deliberately kills bugs or whether the bugs are just cooked by it from it being in the area, I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, the beams tend to be quick enough at killing the nests anyway. Yeah, they seem to be dying. Yeah, go and set fire to that base. That's fine too. So the main advantage to having more injectors on the beam is that it moves faster. So the other one of these is going to be creeping across the landscape incredibly slowly because it's only got about 1 or 2 injectors on it. Whereas this one is moving at a decent rate because apparently more injectors means the beam can be tracked across the planet faster, which makes absolutely no sense whatsoever, apart from as a gameplay balancing sort of thing. I would have assumed that the way it would work would be that it starts each time it always goes for the nearest biter building in inverted commas from wherever it is at the time. But the fact it went past this, it went from here to here, going straight past this one without attacking it, shows that that's not actually the case. So I'm not really sure I'm not really sure what logic is behind the way the energy glaive decides what to attack. So, yeah. Does this only attack in areas that you've explored with the radar? So if I leave this going for long enough, it'll get all of this stuff in this square, but it won't. Oh no, no, I take it. But no, it does. It actually goes outside because that's how this got explored, I think. So nope, that answers that one. That's the one I was looking at. What are you doing over there? Right, so it's destroyed that one. Now it's moving over here, getting this one. So it's pretty lethal. It's quite impressive. Oh, was it? Oh, okay. Maybe. Okay, so eventually, if I leave this running, it will kill all of the biters in the area that I have explored, but won't go outside. Okay, that's probably good. That's sensible because It means that I can just leave this at it, and this is a manageable quantity of biters to deal with, I think. Although I will divert it over here, I think. Yeah, I hope so. If it does end up zapping my base, I shall be quite upset. Where am I? No, seriously, where is my everything? Where's my actual factory on this planet? Ah, this is the worst user interface in the world. I think it's over here. Yes, here it is. Right. Okay. So it was. But there don't seem to be any up here right now. So it was these ones down here that I reckon were my next target. So let's go for the top one of these and hope it moves downwards. So I'll go for there. Back. Glaive. Now we're getting those ones over there. Where's the other energy? The other one's playing around up there. So that's actually quite a good place for it to be attacking at the moment because that's it's reasonably close to the factory. Of course, that one's going up instead of downwards. It'd be nice if there was a better way to control them as well, rather than repeatedly going back here and going, actually, I'd rather you went the other way. Yeah, not there. Come down here. I'll just let it track down there rather than... a row. Alright, since you're practically there, I'll let it destroy that one. It is rather glorious, yes. It is. I've not really used it all that much until now because I've not really gone out to a planet with much in the way of biters until now. So it is rather nice having it able to just completely wreck them like this so distantly and remotely. I have not used weapon delivery cannons. No, I mean possibly this planet is the ideal place to be using a plague rocket because there's no vitamelange on it. It's just a generic um, generic resource or oil planet. There's the word I'm looking for. Oil. Oil is a good word. Boom, boom. So yeah, I could quite happily use it against the use a plague rocket here, and it wouldn't actually matter. Don't go that way. But it does. These beams do take quite a lot of babysitting, it seems, if you want them to be particularly effective. And turning off and on again as well, which is a bit ridiculous. So there's going after that one, which is a complete waste of time because it's just a single worm. Instead, go down here. Yeah, there's not a lot of trees on that planet. I wouldn't like to say about fish. Yeah, iridium pile drivers could be interesting. I think probably not necessary. It'd be easier just to land a spaceship on the planet with a load of artillery guns on it. I've been talking for a while now about making an assault spaceship that has probably a load of artillery guns in the middle of it, a ring of turrets around the outside, and a ring of laser turrets as well, and all that sort of stuff. I think that'd be pretty good for, especially for going out to sort of slightly more dangerous planets. because at some point I'm going to want to go out to all of the planets that I've not really explored yet in order to look at their pyramids, I think. Because there's going to be plot relevant reasons to do so, I'm sure. So, whilst this is all lovely, it's kind of slow and kind of pointless. I'd be a lot better off just sort of landing with a spaceship full of artillery and wrecking things from there. I believe so, at least in effect. It probably has an area of effect, a bit like a bit like a nuke does, or something like that. But I suspect it's not going to be enormously more than that. Oh, I suppose actually, if the ammunition is just to get a piece of iridium or two, I don't know. Let's have a look. Let's see what we can find about it. Is it actually called pile driver? Yes. Explosives, rocket, and 50 heavy girders. That's pretty expensive. It does have an area of effect of 16, though. That's a decent sized explosion. It does enormous amounts of damage right in the centre, and significantly less further out. Not too bad. But I think probably just going out with artillery would be certainly much cheaper and probably more effective. Because artillery shells are a lot cheaper, basically. Not to put too fine a point on it. Much easier. Artillery has a decent range, and if it's a spaceship, the spaceship can always hop around a little bit. True though, the the pile driver would have essentially shoot it absolutely anywhere on the planet that you want to, so there's a bit of an advantage to that. Maybe the optimum is to go in there with your artillery and then lob some more pile drivers out there at anything you can't quite reach. And it'd be quite nice because excuse me, it'd probably wipe out most of a nest in one go. So yeah, I can definitely see advantages to it. Okay, I think this is all. Still using up what it had on it before. I think this is all working now. I think I'm probably about ready to leave Trelos again. Although I do think I should possibly put in a second spaceship. There isn't really an issue with the autoclave so much as it's just a bit stupid. It works. It is currently going around and glaving merrily. There's one of them. It's just a bit stupid because, well, firstly, if you turn it off and on again, then you skip the time it takes for it to travel around the map like this. But also, it doesn't really do a very sensible pattern of coverage. Where's that gone? Oh, that one's been dealt with. It just sort of skips around wherever it feels like. I have not eradicated all the biters on Norvis. I've just put a big wall around my base and forgotten about them. It is fine. Over on Norvis we have lots of biters, lots and lots and lots of biters, but also basically impregnable walls. So across here, dragon's teeth, set of walls, guns with uranium ammo and big chonking flamethrowers. It works. And also repair systems and a cunning train system down here to keep it supplied with everything it needs to keep everything running. And yeah, pretty good. Right. Yeah, I think I'll just assume this is okay for now because it seems to be. We've got the oil is fairly static at about 20,000 per tank. Oh, that was interesting. The oil is fairly static at about 20,000 per tank, even though we've stopped making rocket fuel because presumably because all these tanks are full. Yes, because all these tanks are full. That's surprising. Oh well. Perhaps I should play with the numbers a bit on the Trelos ship. I don't know how much it takes to take off from how much fuel it uses to take off from Norvis. Trelos chunks, here it comes. Not very much. So we've used 45,000, 46,000 from each one of these. Call it 50. 100, 200, 300. So use 300,000 to take off from Norvis. So I could say when leaving Norvis orbit, make sure you've got at least 300,000, which is this one. So take that down to, say that down to 400,000, just because I like to have margin for stupidity. I could also tell it to make sure it's full, or at least fairly full, before it leaves Trelos. How long is it going to take to get to Trelos? 2.5 minutes. Okay, I'll probably wait for that. Yeah, I think the lasers weren't good enough, or lasers aren't that great until you have absolutely enormous numbers of them, and enormous numbers of them are very power hungry, at least earlier on in the game when I was short of power. So, yeah, these days I probably could do do a lot of lasers, but I haven't in this particular case. More than 20,000. Okay, so I could potentially try and squeeze in another comparator up here and set it to watch for at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 500. Set that one to 550. And then not take off until it's full. So if I make that, instead of being a 2, make that a 3. And now it'll never go anywhere until I come along and finish this off once it's landed. But, you know, good enough. Yeah, spaceships are fairly fuel hungry. And this is quite a big spaceship. Despite the fact it only carries it carries about the same amount of stuff as a rocket does. But rocket fuel's pretty cheap, and the convenience and flexibility of spaceships is rather nice. So I'm not too bothered about it using a bit more fuel than a rocket would. Also, I hadn't done the maths. I hadn't really checked how much fuel I was using up for all of this. But yeah, at some point in the future, I'll develop the antimatter. What's going on? Right. At some point in the future, I'll develop antimatter booster tanks, and antimatter drives, and so on, and then it'll be hopefully be a bit more efficient. Well, require a bit less fuel anyway. We shall see how well it goes. But for these ships, I think I'll never actually change because I want them to be. I don't mind if they use up a load of fuel because it's just a convenient sink for all that oil on Trelos. Also, I feel my eye drawn to the fact there's a shadow of this cable on the very, very bright booster engine. Oh dear. 24 seconds. Okay, it's nearly there. I'll get that finished off before I leave because otherwise it just won't work. Yeah, oil isn't something I'm particularly short of. I have, or rocket fuel actually for that matter. I have quite a lot of it being made here, and then a ship here that carries enormous quantities of it up to my space base in Norvis orbit, and from there it can then be passed around between all of the different, put into all of the different spaceships that require it. Oh, here's the spaceship. Blunk, there's the accumulate that, and copy paste to there. And actually, I want that to be 550,000 for that one. So we'll fill that up with oil now, with rocket fuel now. Fills the first one up nice and quickly, of course, because yeah. Actually, given this, let's put in some more. Get rid of that. Right, let's put in some more tanks in order to have pumps down here like this. No, like this. Okay, do that, I suppose. Nope, that won't fit. Oh, you know what will fit though? That. Let's put that there. No, let's put it there because then it's pulling straight out of a tank. Oh, but that doesn't reach. How can I do this so it actually makes sense? There we go, that'll have to do. It's not quite right, but it'll do. I did have a pylon down here. I'm assuming it was needed. Yes, it's probably... Oh, it'll be to power all of this stuff, yes. And I have pulled up one of these guns, so let's put another one in down here. Which way up? Oh, it doesn't matter. Why? You know, yeah, you're not passing over because that's already full. But, yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, juggling fluid between fluid tanks is a bit ridiculous in this game. But what can you do? It's as it is what it is, as they say. There we go, that might help a little bit. Get some of it down here. Now, the next time the ship comes in, all of the tanks will be full, so we'll be able to pump the first bit of it off, a bit of it out a bit more easily. So it won't be quite so bad. You know what would also help if I actually wired this up? Muppet. So that goes to the input of that one. That goes to that one. Yeah. 550 in there. Yep. So the ship should be ready to depart now. What? So is that putting... Did I change the wrong... Right, so you're outputting a tick, you're outputting a tick, you're outputting a tick. So it's 3, it should be 3. You're getting 1 on the input. Have I... Yes, that shouldn't be connected to there, that's the problem. That should be connected to there. Yes, because C is counting trains, so that... Oh, it's half broken. Let's have a look at that. Where is it? The Trelos. What's the Trelos core? I'm sure I called it something like that. Yeah, Trelos chunks. There it is. Don't know why I couldn't... Oh, I know why I couldn't see it in the list. I'll fix that in a minute. Right, so what we actually want to say here, C is the count of trains, so that should always say 2. I don't know why this took off, actually. Oh, yes, I do. And then this should say 4, then, presumably, because I've increased that by 1. Yeah, because we've got chunks, location, fuel, and trains. So it needs 4. Right, okay. This is all now correct. He says emphatically and sure, as if I can tell it. Yeah. No, barrels are never a good idea. I'm not using barrels for anything, ever. Barrels are horrible. Oh, hey, 48,000. That's virtually, if not actually, enough fuel to lift off from Norvis. Maybe I don't even need to do the stop in Norvis orbit. That might be worthwhile. Anyway, this should now be okay. I'll keep a little bit of an eye on it, but I think it's basically working. The 12 meteorite strike is pretty unlucky. That's a lot of meteorites. But yeah, shooting down 10 of them is pretty good. I suppose it depends how many guns you've got. And I put in an absolutely phenomenal number on Norvis because I got absolutely fed up with them occasionally getting through. When I say phenomenal number, it's like 14, which isn't that big a number, I guess. But it's, yeah, it's enough to that it hopefully won't be a problem. Other planets tend to have about 6 typically, or 8 sometimes, apparently. Alright, let's get out of here. $16 batch, wow. No, that's unlucky. It's frustrating when actual expensive stuff you care about gets destroyed. And yeah, energy science is probably something along those lines. The worst hit I've taken was from a coronal mass ejection that went in and took out my a large area of my green circuit production and took out several chests that were probably completely full of green circuits. I lost thousands of them from that. But if it's just taking out a handful of buildings, it's not quite so bad as long as you're reasonably nearby to go out and repair it. It's annoying, don't get me wrong, but it's not so bad. It's not quite the same level, sheer resource loss that it could have been. It's the problem with these things where there's a bit of randomness in there, where you're always rolling the dice in the hope that something will work out. Oh, so I've just thought of something I was thinking about recently. So the next coronal mass ejection is at Myokin. I believe my umbrella ship is out there at Myokin at the moment. Yes, I was thinking I should perhaps I should modify this ship, but make it a bit bigger, sure, but who cares? In order to have two of these power systems on it, so that when this kicks in, it's able to provide at least up to 2 gigawatts of power, which is quite a lot more, should we say? Yeah, I've had several coronal mass ejections hit my planets that have stuff on them. Obviously, because I've been playing for um, 20 days. Jeez. Um, and yeah, so there's been quite a few of them, but I think that's the only one that's been quite that spectacularly bad. I've had others that have knocked out bits of railway line and stuff like that, or have got a bit too close to comfort. But that's the only one that's gone in and really done massive damage. But yeah, I think I could just sort of extend the bottom part of the ship down a chunk, and I could put another power station on the bottom here. Oh yes, I was going to see. So this is going to be this is only actually this one in particular is only a 0.89 gigawatt peak, and it's really close to the sun because it's Myokin as well. So maybe actually it's not too much of a worry. That's true. It could have been worse. They could have been chests full of blue circuits. That would have been worse indeed. But it was bad enough as it was. It'd be interesting if the game gave you told you after a coronal mass ejection how expensive in inverted commas it had been, how much resource had been destroyed. Done that, done that. Right. Okay, what's next? I think probably my next trick, I shall go in and grab a load of those modules that I've been making and go off and do some upgrading of things and try and make things run a bit faster, a bit more productively, and see how that goes. Ooh, I wonder how the iron overload is doing. Has that been magically fixed yet, or is it something I should probably think about? Oh no, it's flowing again. That's good. It's presumably still pretty full. Yeah, still 153,000, which that must mean these are all very, very nearly full. Yeah, this is practically full again. Um, that's a concern. I'm getting through enormously more copper. The copper seems to be the. I should look at the read the numbers. 25,000, 45,000, 80,000. That's pretty good. 13, sure, I don't care. 18,000. I don't care so much about these two because I've got better supplies than coming from elsewhere. I just need to use up what turns up. Copper, not so much, isn't so much of a worry because the ship that comes from Gearoffen carries like 2/3 copper with it. So copper gets brought out in larger quantities, but the iron backing up like this is a major pain. I suppose what I could do, here's a thought. What if I do this like that? It's sort of one of those short-term type fixes because all I'm doing is doubling the amount of storage space rather than actually rather than doing anything about the amount being brought in. But what is Factorio except for a series of short-term fixes? And then in what's going on here, this should be right. This should just be a belt going straight up here. Okay, there we go. That's fine. Um, I suppose that's possible. My instinctive reason for not is because I don't know how long I'm going to have a surplus of iron for. Something else might happen that requires a lot more of it. Um, hmm. Oh, you think I could turn it into landfill? That's a possibility. I mean, landfill is an interesting sink for just miscellaneous stuff. It's not one I'm particularly fond of using, because I feel like I shouldn't just be trying to throw resources away. You're right. I could turn it into landfill. So 50 copper could be turned into, sorry, 50 iron ore could be turned into landfill. And it would be a sort of a suitable emergency way of getting rid of it. I hate the idea, but that doesn't mean I won't consider it at some point. Let's see how it gets on with this for now. This can be a sort of a step one of getting. At least it's now running again, mostly kind of. The rate it comes through the belts is a bit of a drawback, but it'll mostly clear it out. We just need most of the ships to come from Gear Often rather than elsewhere, so we keep the copper topped up, not the topper copped up. But then that said, I do also need the coal and the stone. Those are both being ripped through fairly quickly, as you can tell by the fact that they're not full. So yeah, the more of those I've got, the better. This is set to be prioritized, to be the priority, isn't it? Yes, it is. Okay, good. Just thought if I was drawing half of my iron ore from iron mines on the planet, I'd feel awfully silly. True, it is free. I mean, I'd still have the problem that I'd probably then end up with a warehouse full uh, of landfill and not know what to do with it. But yes, I think it's yes, definitely the beer and the. I think to be honest, it's more the COVID than the beer. I'm pretty sure I can cope with a pint of beer and still talk reasonably coherently. Because I'm not drinking heavily. I just had the one beer. I was going to say with dinner, but sort of mostly after dinner, to be honest. Yeah, true. I suppose yes. I could fill this lake in for the hell of it, and yeah, I use bits of landfill from time to time, but I mostly tend to. I haven't done it. Haven't used landfill all that much. It's been sort of little bits of it because I've had a railway line I wanted to punch across a lake like this, or stuff like that. But mostly I tend to work round the. What's getting attacked now? Trelos again. Oh god damn it! I shouldn't have left Trelos. Um. Oh no. What's getting attacked? Oh, this is bad. This is really bad. Okay, let's go back to Trelos. No. They're going to have destroyed so much stuff by the time I get there. I'm going to have to bring spare stuff out in the... Oh, dear. I'm going to have to bring some more stuff to rebuild out in the in the core fragment ships. Right, I need to build up some better defenses. I've got no laser cannons. Great. Oh, bloody hell. Are there ocean worlds? There aren't ocean worlds as stuff as such, but some worlds have more water than others, and some don't have water. So yes and no. I mean, like Asalia is a fairly wet place. There's quite a lot of ocean on this world, but there's nowhere like Camino from Star Wars that is basically ocean everywhere. Oh, come on, fly faster. I knew I was going to have issues with this at some point because I hadn't got around to building up proper defences, but I wonder if I can do a surgical strike with this. Probably not, is my feeling. Stop! I'm sure I hit glaive, not autoglaive that time. It shouldn't have moved. Right, well that was drastic, but yeah. How much damage did I do? Or how much did we all do between us? Right, so all this stuff that's got green highlight over it now. That was the damage from firing the beam right into the middle of the area. But I think these destroyed buildings were thanks to the biters, really. No, no, no. The pile driver would have been even worse. The pile driver would have probably destroyed a bit. Well, destroyed a bit further out anyway. It might not have been much worse, to be honest. But yeah, that would have been possible. Maybe I should just plague rocket this planet, because it is going. Dealing with all of this is going to be quite annoying. So where did they come from? Probably up here. Is there a... No, there's no bridge across there. So if they did come from up here, they did an awfully long walk in order to get round. But I think that's probably... Oh, well, possibly down here. Yeah, those are definitely making some biters. Okay, let's do a little bit more tactical beamness. Where is this? I have no idea. Right, okay, here's the... No, this is not the... Oh, here we go, here's the factory. Right, so there was a couple down here that are absorbing quite a lot of pollution, so let's get them first. Toasty, toasty. And then there was some more to the north, I think. Oh, no, there weren't. We've got all of these. Well, some of these. Okay, we'll leave that playing for a bit. Am I there yet? No. Yeah, because if that'll be smart enough to go there and then down here, then, or possibly up there, I think that'll be quite good, because that'll safen up that area. These ones down here are a bit of a risk. But generally, I think most of the biters are outside the pollution circle. But the pollution circle is going to grow over time, of course. I need the air scrubbers from Industrial Revolution. That'd be quite useful. So I could just sort of surround the core miners and the crushers with that, and it'd probably be all right. Yeah, a really accurate precision, as you say, orbital laser would be quite nice. I could, yeah, something that's is like a bit like the artillery, but has the artillery remote, but from orbit. So I can just go pew, 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 pew. That'd be great. Was a biter meteorite here? Probably not, because I've got a decent set of anti-meteorite guns, and to be honest, I think the biters are just coming running in from the bases around. Oh, good, it has done what I wanted it to do. It is going after this nest here now. Okay, what can the weapon delivery cannon deliver though? I want something about the scale of an artillery shell. I don't want to be delivering nukes, because in that particular case, it was right in the middle of my base. What do you deliver? I don't know. Oh right, okay. So it's the Iridium pile driver or or a nuke system. Okay, both of which are a bit too destructive to be firing into the middle of my own factory. I probably don't have these pulverizers with me, but I will set up a system down here for doing some actual proper defending. I don't know where I'm trying to land. Oh good, there's the factory. There's a couple of things in this game where I don't really know where I'm looking for stuff. Then it doesn't really tell you. So that wasn't a very good explanation of what I'm trying to say. Where yes, if you're trying to do something, it drops you in. You try to set something up, and it drops you in a very unhelpful way, so you can't really tell where you're looking at. That's what I'm trying to say. Which I don't approve of. It's unhelpful. We're all repaired down here now. Right, and we don't need that one anymore, and we don't need that one. So there's another biter coming in then. Where'd that one come from? It was coming in from this sort of direction. Here? Maybe. It was a spitter, and this is a spitter spawner. Let's go over and deal with that one then. I'm just going to do that by hand because it seems easier at this point. It's not a bad idea actually, setting up a laser turret factory and just building and getting it to build it all itself. My original plan was to set up a roboport and leave it a supply of laser turrets. Oh, that's a good idea, Kodiak. Thank you. And I think I possibly suspected it was likely to be something like that, but yeah, it's good to have it confirmed. Thank you. Do I have any more pulverizers so I can get this sorted out before? Yes, I do. Nice. Okay. So let's set up some roboports first because I can. At least that way. I don't know. I was going to say at least that way I can do some repair work. I'm not sure I actually can really. It's not just that it's so painfully slow, although that is definitely part of it. It's that it's also there's no indication of where you are, where you're looking at. So I don't know whether I'm trying to set up. I don't know whether I need to scroll north, east, south, or west in order to find the business part of my base where I'm trying to set up all of this stuff. That's the problem, in my opinion. There we go. Basic roboport coverage. Oh, can you actually open the map when you're... What? How am I short of electricity? Oh, no, it's just charging up. Okay. Never mind. Right, let's dump all my robots in here and then lament their lack for evermore. Let's take some of them back out. That'll do. At least I'm not completely without robots now. Okay, and so I need to have a large quantity of lasers available. Let's turn that one off and that one on. I suppose what I want is a ring of lasers going all the way round the edge of my roboport coverage. Just to provide full protection. That seems nice and straightforward, and hopefully will be enough to stop any biters, and relatively easy to upgrade and improve as required. So I don't have any, but let's try that first. So from here, I want to go. That's outside roboport coverage. Right, okay. Yes, I am still in the roboport coverage. Good. And then down to about here, I suppose. Right, how's that? Are we all... Oh, that's an outside roboports as well. Let's put another one of these in then. There we go. And now I'm going to need power for all of these as well, of course, so I better do that. No, don't pick up rock. I don't care about rock. I just want to put the roboport down. Thank you. Now let's check them for power. Boom, 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 boom. These. The nice thing about this is that the power pylons are sufficiently far back inside the base that there's no way they'll ever get attacked by biters. So I don't need to worry about those getting eaten. It is a lot of laser turrets, but let's go big or go home. I should probably put a wall around the outside of them as well, to be fair, because Just since one of the biggest dangers to um, since one of the biggest dangers. What am I trying to say? Yeah, biters are a bit more dangerous than spitters generally, and they can be slowed down by. They can be stopped by walls. So why am I doing this? Not like that. There we go. No GTA video today. I haven't had time to put one together, I'm afraid. I just ran out of time, so no, afraid not. Yeah, the GTA videos are kind of time-consuming to put together, um, and so given that I wasn't going to be able to do a GTA video and a Factorio stream, I wasn't really expecting to do this Factorio stream, to be honest. Um, but this one is by far my most popular series, so I thought I'd prioritize this way. I have shield protectors as part of space exploration. I don't think I have combat overhaul. Of course, this is all going to be outside the Oh no, it's not all outside the Roboport. In fact, none of it's outside the Roboport network. Excellent. Oh, this bit is down here. Less excellent. That was around here somewhere, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I'm fairly optimistic that the biters won't. I've got enough power generation that the biters won't be able to overwhelm the lasers from a power point of view, because I've got a gigawatt of power generation available to me, of which I'm using like a quarter, like 40%. So that's 600 megawatts. Of which, what does a laser turret use when it's for full chat? 3. So I can have 200, almost 200 of these lasers firing at once, and I'll be okay. So I think this is probably all right. Did I set this beamer go? Yes, I did. Good. Spitters are blocked by walls, but they can spit over them. So the spitters are still going to be able to attack the turrets. But the biters aren't going to be able to, because they'll run up to the turrets and they'll sort of nibble on, and then they'll come running up, but they won't be able to get past the turrets in order to attack. Right, so next thing. Trelos chunk ship. You need a green box like this. And that green box needs to be filled up with all kinds of useful stuff, like walls and lasers. And then all of that will be brought back on this ship when it comes back, and we'll be able to build all of that stuff up. So a bit at a time probably, but but it'll get there. How far out are you? 7 minutes away. Okay, I'm not gonna stare at it for 7 minutes. I'm also thinking I'm probably not going to play for very much longer, I'm afraid, because I'm getting kind of croaky and kind of dopey, not to put too fine a point on it. True, if the meteorite defense guns are charging as well, that puts another dent into it. I don't know how the power will be prioritized. Yeah, I don't know. But I wouldn't expect more than about 6 or 7, maybe 10 of the laser cannons to be firing at once, because as biters come in, they tend to come in on very much on the same path, so they'll all be attacking the same laser cannons. So maybe 10, maybe 20 if they're bunched out a bit, spread out a bit. But it's not going to be a huge. It's not going to be like there's a simultaneous attacks all the way around the entire factory, all the way around the entire outpost. So I'm not too worried about that. What's going on here? Oh, it's gone. Okay, good. So we've got one glaive beam over here having some fun. And I've got one. Where's the other one? There. Also having some fun. That's actually going for a sensible one. This clearing them out with the glaives does seem to be working. It's not quite as nice as I would like it to be, but it's not. Sorry, it's not picking them out quite in the orders I wish it was. but it's doing pretty well, I think. So I'm not too upset by this. It's working okay. Right. I'm going to put Trelos defenses on my to-do list because I don't know if I'm going to finish it this time. And it's nice to have something to remind me what I've been doing when I go back later. Oh, there's a load of pipes missing in here as well. That's unfortunate. I didn't notice that. Ha! Yes, a patrol. That would be quite cool. I don't think it would be remotely effective, but it'd be extremely cool. And that's what's more important, right? There we go. Where are all these stopped? Maybe they're not stopped. This seems to be holding very steady, which is quite impressive. Which suggests that we've got enough. We're using up the oil about as fast as we're making it, and the amount of rocket fuel that's being used by the spaceship taking off is about the same as the amount that's being generated when it arrives. So, yeah, that seems to be okay. Over here, this seems to be running pretty well, I'd say. Yeah, I think that's good. That's an interesting question. I think, given how unpredictable and unhelpful they are about where they glaive, I suspect you're going to be better off with 3 of them, because that way there's a higher chance that one of them will actually shoot somewhere sensible and be vaguely useful about it. If you just have one of them, it'll probably wander off to a far corner of the planet and just sit over there killing biters that are never actually going to be an issue to you, rather than doing anything useful. That's just a gut feeling, of course, based on how annoying I find the glaive to be sometimes. Right, so I'm now going to go back to plan N-1, which was to head over to back to Norvis orbit, pick up some modules, and then head off down to Norvis itself and to Tulip and do some general upgrades and get things running a bit more effectively, more efficiently, and so on and so on. Oh, that's true. Yes, and not only would they move more slowly, they'd move in exactly the same direction, so they'd effectively be one 20 gigawatt glaive that moves at the speed of a 10. So yeah, at that point it would objectively be worse. How much power do you need to whack into a glaive before it'll actually teleport it? Because that would be rather nice. Zap, zap, pew, pew. How far is it? How far is it? No, here we go, over here. 5 minutes? What? Oh, yeah, of course, because when you leave Trelos, you don't have enough... Trelos is a long way out, so you don't have enough power, so the ship isn't actually flying at full speed. It's only doing 60 out of 102 that it's capable of. That's an interesting idea. Have it as a pulse laser. No, you can't tell us that the beam can teleport, and then when we ask you how much power it uses, just say, yep. We need to actually know. We need a number. That seems to have stopped. Have I used up all of my Deep Space Science? Deep Space Science 1 packs. Yes, looks like I have. Yeah, so they're being fed through... They're being made, but they're only being... Science is only being done at the rate they're being made at. Okay. All of the inputs seem to be absolutely fine. It's just the speed that it makes them at. This is a 80... Oh no, it's the 60-second crafting job. Jeez. Compared to earlier ones that were 30 seconds down to also 30? No, also 30. Okay, so Deep Space Science takes twice as long to build the actual packs. Ah, okay, fair enough. But yeah, having it sort of turning on and off every second-ish sounds like quite a useful thing and would be perfectly acceptable. Why are you broken? Run out of science packs. Run out of science pack 2. What? Run out of... Have run out of vitamelange extract. What the hell's going on here? That... How can we... What? Other confused noises. There's a thing over here. Its entire purpose in life is to produce vitamelange extract, but it's not. And the spaceship is not here. What's going on here? Why is there always something broken? Not you. You! Oh, for goodness sake. It's done the cutting the trains in half thing. Okay. New priority thing. Come back here and fix this bloody stupid thing. How's it done the cutting in... How... What? I don't understand how any of this has happened. Particularly this bit. How is the What? Just how? I don't understand. I mean, I've seen in the past, I've seen a thing where a spaceship is presumably... No, because it doesn't even... I don't understand why my trains keep getting cut by spaceships. And if it was the spaceship taking off when the train is halfway out of it, I would sort of understand that. I've tried to prevent it from happening, or at least on some of the spaceships, but I could sort of understand it, and that would destroy one of the wagons. Fine, but then the spaceship would be at the other location, and it wouldn't have come back because it hasn't got its trains. In this case, it's even weirder because it's got the three of the wagons here and one here, so nothing's been destroyed. And also, I was going to say also they're all full, but that's probably because it came around. So what it looks like is that the spaceship has landed, the trains have come out of it, and then at some arbitrary point, it's decided to close these doors and cut the trains in half. And the other halves of the trains are just rolled out under momentum and then eventually stopped like this, which is fair enough because they switched over to manual mode. But it doesn't make any sense. Rage. Alright, let's get some better efficiency, productivity modules. And some speed modules as well. And a few of these, just in case. And also, let's get some slightly worse productivity modules, assuming they're being made. They're not, because everything is broken. Why is everything broken here? What's gone wrong now? There's none of this, whatever this is. This is blue circuits. Why are there no blue circuits? Blue circuits should be coming up here somewhere. I can't remember where. Oh, here, obviously. And the six, yes, okay, so we're not getting blue circuits. Why are we not getting blue circuits? Endless following it back up the tree and trying to find out where the actual problem lies. So here we go. We're making green circuits. We're making blue circuits. Are we just not making blue circuits fast enough, or was there a previous problem that I was not previously aware of? I mean, this looks kind of okay. Oh, maybe I know what it was. The sheer demand from the no, it's the demand of making all those modules has put massive drain on the circuit supply, and I've got through all of the blue circuits that were already in the space station, plus all of the ones that were in the rocket here that then launched and replenished them. And now it's just not making them anything like as fast as they're being consumed at the other end. So, I mean, this isn't a particularly huge number of blue circuits coming out here. It's not like it's not a solid belt or anything like that. So it's a bit, well, crap. Yeah, indeed. It's sort of, you find there's a major problem somewhere, so you sort of follow it back and follow it back and follow it back and see what's causing it, and it Yeah, it turns out it's not actually so much. There's actually no problem with any of the production. It's just I've started consuming blue circuits so much faster that everything's ground to a halt. Well, c'est la vie. I think I'm just going to ignore that for now because it is it's kind of working. It's not getting any. It's Yes, we're not getting the circuits brought over as fast as I would like, but it's sort of vaguely functional. Um, so yeah, I'll put it on the list as something to consider later though. Blue circuit supply. Right, now let's head over to Tulip and get some stuff fixed over there. Launch! 2 minutes. That's not too bad. Oh yeah, Tulip's quite relatively close. I just need to get out of Norvis' sphere of influence, fly out like one planet's worth, and then back in again. That's not too bad. Ugh. Yes, getting endlessly distracted by working your way up a chain of yaks is a fairly common thing for me in Factorio, and I don't think it's just me. I think it's a thing that everybody suffers from once their base gets to a reasonable level of complexity. You find one thing that's not working, and while you're trying to work out what's causing that to not work, you end up finding another thing and another thing and another thing. If you're lucky, then it's all caused. It's only one problem, and it's just been caused by the whatever the thing right up at the top of it is. If you're unlucky, you discover half a dozen different problems on the way through, and it just gets harder and harder. What's getting destroyed now? Is it Trelos? It is Trelos. Oh bloody hell! I'm not sure what to do about this. Where even? Oh, it's down here, exactly the same place again. They really don't like these particular inserters. Okay, let's just shoot this one with a beam. Um, oh, map. I was supposed to be doing this one though. Stop it! Stop eating things. Damn biters. Did that get it? I couldn't tell because I put it onto glaive mode and it started moving. It's not supposed to do that. The alerts have stopped happening though, which is a nice and optimistic. Why? I thought the whole point of glaive was that it just zapped the shot where you said and then stopped, but apparently not. Yeah, pretty much is using a magnifying glass on the biters, but I think they deserve it because they keep eating my stuff. If it was on autoglaive beforehand, I see what you mean. Yes, it is very annoying. Right, down here. This is easy enough to fix in this particular case. Because I can just come back round here. Beep, 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 beep. And then have a quick game of try to remember what. Oh, got it right first time. Awesome. I was going to say, have a quick game of trying to remember what the button is to reconnect a train, but it turns out it's G, and that was my first guess, so yay. Back up to here, and here, and reconnect, and get out, and go to Tulip. Right. Comes around here, loads up happily. Okay, so that's that sorted out. Now, I've also picked up some more modules and things. So over here, what sort of speed modules? We've only got tier low here, so let's do that and that I suppose I might as well do the other ones as well, since I've got 20 of them. That's just the right number. Oh, this was already very upgraded. Okay, suits me. Because anything I can do to get this churning... Oh, no, it's the shortage is the vitalic acid as usual, isn't it? Oh, I'm going to need to have a look at that. But I can come in and upgrade some of these a bit more. That wasn't quite what I meant to do. It was quite nice that it'll only do upgrades when you do this. There we go. That's made that a bit better at least. And I want to keep it on this side because this is the side that this is after it's used. Oh, I suppose these also are using the vitalic acid. But well, yeah, why am I so short of vitalic acid now? I thought I'd got like a decent stream of that coming through, or has it been hijacked by this train system? No. I've run out of glass again. Again. Oh no, the supply has just arrived. Okay. So we're not getting rockets of glass in quickly enough either. But that's been a problem before. I think I'm just not producing the glass quickly enough down on Norvis. Did I bring this? Yes, I did bring some good efficiency modules along as well. Let's shove those in. Hey, I've got a 9. Alright, sure. Put that in there. Why not? That isn't what I meant to do. Okay, none of that happened. Good. Do that and that. Right. Well, that should help things a little bit, but not an enormous bit. Oh, I didn't load this up with all the stuff it needs, but it does have that. This does have this now, so I can put in the request for all the things we're going to need. So we need some pulverizers to replace the ones that keep getting destroyed by those biters who seem to really like destroying pulverizers. So 5 of those is probably going to be enough. We don't seem to be losing more than that at a time. Let's get some blue belts as well, and some inserters, because they seem to be a favourite snack of the biters as well. And now the most important things, I want to get an enormous number of lasers. Actually, so a lot of lasers, to be fair, yes, and a lot of wall. Yeah, I don't expect that to be enough in one go, but I don't see the need to carry any more than that. Okay, now we're fueling up. Fueling up is going pretty... Actually, it's not doing too badly. These tanks are staying reasonably... Well, actually, no, that one's been almost drained. I take back what I was saying positively about it. But we'll fill it up reasonably quickly, I think. I do feel like I need a second one of these ships. But for now, we'll just leave it as words. Yeah, for now, I think it's probably okay. It's this refueling thing that's the problem. Maybe if I put in some more tanks over here as well, and pumped fuel in from this side, that would help quite. That would help quite a lot, actually. Something like this. Of course, I can't put this bit in yet because that'll cause the fuel to not go through. Then here I can also request a very small number of pipes and underground pipes. That seems alright, a stack of each. I don't know if I'm going to get these because I don't think I had any in the space station, but it's worth a try. And I was going to need some pumps. Pumps. Like 5, sure. Oh, it's gone. I hope it saved all of that stuff. And some space pipes as well. That's the other thing I need. Alright, fine. I'll go to Trellis my bloody self then. Sort it out a bit more. And just stay there. I'll stay there and guard it until I actually get some of the stuff out I need to fix all these. Actually, what I should be doing is zapping them again. Now, I mean, I know, granted, at this rate, we'll nah, can't press the right buttons. Factorio is not a game that I like to play in as a Twitch shooter. Hello, Garrity. This thing up here, this is a logistics request manager. Allows you to drop. Basically, I think it does other things as well, but basically, I've got it to allow me to drop blueprints onto blue chests. And so if I drag a blueprint onto there, when I've got a chest open, it'll add the all the things in the blueprint to that chest's requests. So you'll end up building. So you can essentially, if you're about to fly off to another planet, you can put one of these chests in your spaceship, say I wanted to have all of the things for this blueprint, and it'll dump them all in there, and then you can buzz out there nice and easily, and it'll just have everything you need when you arrive. It's quite handy. Right, where was I? Yes, I was giving this things. Now, actually, if I'm going out there myself, we probably do need some of these still. We don't need the underground pipes. Don't need the pumps or the tanks. Yeah, that's probably all right. Oh, repair packs. Let's have some repair packs. No problem. You're welcome. I do want to stop playing, but I don't want to stop playing until I've got Trelos at least partially able to defend itself. But yeah, I need to stop and go to bed and try and recover a bit. Minute and a half, okay. Well, there's a station being damaged on Trelos as well. It's attacked an LTN station. Why the hell would a biter attack a station? They don't care about... Stations don't produce pollution. It shouldn't attack a station. Oh, for goodness sake. Oh, why does nothing... This blows. Why does nothing work? Yeah, attack these things. I don't care about that. But also, glaive. Off. So we might as well carry on auto-glaving while it's there. Am I there now? No, not quite. Still a minute left to go. Great. Yeah, in hindsight, going down to Trelos and placing down a fairly significant size and reasonable complexity base without putting up defences around it on a planet that had a quantity of biters was kind of foolish. But yeah, yes, very much sniping. Well, that's gonna be helpful, isn't it? That's just gonna kill fish. Where even is it? I'm assuming it's these guys down here, so let's do that. And do that. There we go. Isn't boiling fish one of the most horrific things you can do? At least based on the sort of the smell and the general waste of good fish. So, oh, maybe they came from down here, actually. That seems more likely. Yeah. I think this pollution circle is definitely getting bigger, because the thing is, there's nothing on this planet to absorb pollution. It's just bare rock and water. It's water, snow, and tree and rock. So, yeah. So yeah, this pollution. I mean, notice that the pollution cloud is almost circular. The only reason there's a dent down here is because it's been going over biter base nests, like the one that must be in here. Yes, that one. The only reason I could tell that was there was because there were patches of pollution getting cleared up. So yeah, I think having some actual defences on this planet is going to be a useful thing. Probably there by now, yes I am. Anchor in here, that'll do. Right, let's do some repair work. Jeez. That's a lot of damage. Sigh. Okay, so where's the spaceship that goes to Trelos? Which way? No, it's still on its way out. It's going to be 3 minutes till it gets to Norvis, and then another 7 minutes or so till it gets back. So, yeah, I've got about 10 minutes to go on that one. I should take a look at the supplies of everything being loaded in here and decide whether how much of the stuff we actually want, or how much of the stuff that we don't get that we actually do need. Oh, it's going down to Norvis as well, so that means we'll have a better opportunity to get some of the stuff that doesn't really exist in space, like the underground pipes and the walls and the laser cannon. So hopefully that'll all get brought in pretty quickly, in the time it takes for the trains to unload. Going to Norvis orbit first, though. Okay. Yeah, I can imagine the smell of boiling fish isn't great. I think we tend to usually roast it, so or I was going to say or fry it, but I can't remember the last time we actually fried fish. Oh, let's take a look while we're waiting at Norvis orbit. Now we've got this. Yeah, this ship has. Why is it not left again? What the hell? Why is this train system suddenly started being so bloody difficult? Oh, it's refueling. That's why. Okay. Oh, but there's no. What? Why is that pump the wrong way around? Because fuel comes in here from the spaceship, gets pumped up here, and then from here it's supposed to get put into this spaceship. So I don't know why that was the wrong way around. Oh well, at least I found it and fixed it. Still kind of short of some of these supplies though, but that might be because they've just been picked up by a train and taken over here. Nope, still a shortage of them here. Hasn't been brought here. Alright, we just need this to start running a bit more efficiently and quickly. I like how there's these tiny little blobs of pollution in space, but really hardly any, given the amount of industry I've got going on up here. I wonder why. I was going to say maybe the space buildings don't produce pollution because what would be the point? But then some of them do. So what's the point in that? Like apparently the space manufacturers can be put on the ground perhaps? No, only works in space or spaceships, so no. I don't know then. Seems a bit random. Oh, void eats pollution. Okay, that'll be why then. Shame I can't put a bit of that on some of my planets. I suppose I could actually. I just have to build right at the edge of the planet. And then. Oh yeah, you're right. It's sort of disappearing around the edge of here. That makes sense. Just being sucked off into the vacuum of space. What was I doing? Oh yes, I was waiting for the ship to come back from t'other place. Oh, let's repair the train. That'd be good. Oh, and replace that. Oh, we have replaced the LTN station. Good. Although, actually, that said, we're not actually using the LTN-ness of these stations. They're just LTN stations because I didn't have anything else, any other stations with me at the time. So, don't really care about that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining about this, but I'm surprised they didn't go in and attack these big drills first, because they seem like the obvious things that I would personally expect to produce all the pollution, even if they're not. Oh yeah, we've run out of blue belts. There's only so many times you can do this before you start to run out at the beginning of all of these things. Oh, those were white belts anyway. How about over here? Oh, that's an interesting idea. Yeah, I suppose Yeah, if you're talking about from a balance point of view, having the pollution you could produce in space counts towards your overall pollution totals would make us a. It makes sense from a balance point of view rather than from an actually making any actual real sense point of view. Okay, we got some of the stuff I wanted. Hopefully the rest of it it'll be able to get from down on Norvis. I'm surprised it hasn't taken off yet. We shouldn't need. Oh, I said 400,000. Okay, which is a bit overkill, but hang on, there's 6 of these and they're all over 60,000. So that'd be 360, wouldn't it? Yeah, maths. We go nearly there. And now down to Norvis, where it'll appear here, like. Come on. Here, trainy, shippy, shippy, shippy. The ship is already bringing out 100 belts, and that's plenty for what I need here. As long as the robots get out here in time, which they probably won't, because the ship is about to take off again immediately. Crap. Still, the laser cannons are the most important thing it's bringing, probably. Yeah, that's never going to get filled up. Well, actually, it might. We might get some bots out here. If I put some yellow chests here, then maybe next time it'll have that stuff. But it's bringing out the lasers, and the lasers are the most important part, because these belts I've now managed to replace, I think. Oh, apart from these ones. All right, I'll use the space belts. Fine. Do I have any more pulverizers? I did at one point have quite a lot in a. No, I got the ones out of here. I had a chest with a load in somewhere, but I think I've already dealt with that. Oh, we've got lots of lasers. We've got some lasers though, and fuel refineries. Huh. I kind of needed those earlier, and some pipes and some pumps and some this and that and the other. Okay, let's nip over here. Oh, I've already built all of this up. Okay, or maybe the bots did it for me because that's what bots do. There we go. That's another sink on the oil. Pull it down there into these tanks. Yep, they're filling up nicely. Okay, let's copy this design and put in a pump as well. There we go. Let's put down the first 50 lasers as well, since I've got them. "50 lasers doesn't actually go all that far." There it is. There, it's on its way back now. And I assume I was right in what I said about it not actually getting the lasers. Not getting the. Yeah, I didn't have time to pick up any extra stuff, but that's okay. The most important things are these two, which it's got. Well, it's got lots of lasers and it's got very few walls, but it's a start. We've got some inserters as well that might come in useful if necessary. But hopefully, the biters aren't exactly doing large attacks, so with any luck, we'll get the sort of the 1s and 2s coming in. They'll get taken out by the lasers, and we won't actually need the walls. But we'll see. I should probably head over and fix those lasers over there, because they've clearly done something quite useful, like defended. And I did have a few other lasers that were sort of scattered around the edge, because I didn't have very many of them, but I wanted to do a little bit with me, but I wanted to do a little bit of defending, so like these ones. And they're just as good on the in fact, they're probably better on the edges than they are sort of tucked into the middle of the base. I suppose the other alternative would be to specifically defend the areas that the biters seem to be most angry about, and not worry about the areas that they're not attacking. But I think that's probably a dangerous way to do it. I'm also going to put down some yellow chests here, because the robots are bound to pick some stuff up at some point, and I don't want them to not have anywhere to put it. Lots of spaceships shooting rocks, lots of things missing the construction. Pretty much none of this I care about. That's alright. Okay, how's that ship getting on? Oh yes, I need to find that ship and give it a, what's it called? Trelos. Oop, Trelos chunks. This one needs to have a, how do I set that? Oh, it's over here. There we go. Yeah, I need to set that to a 1, so when I do this, and remove this, it actually appears in the list here, and I have a chance of finding it. And it's 5 minutes away still. Okay. Right, so yes, I'm going to more or less call this the end of the stream because I know I'm not producing quite the level of entertainment and content I normally do because, well, as I explained earlier, I'm currently not exactly healthy. So, yeah, I shall cut the stream off fairly soon. But thank you for coming along to watch. And anyway, it's been nice to have a bit of normalcy and get this stream in after I unfortunately had to skip it yesterday. So I think it's gone reasonably well. I've gone around and whilst I've not made any sort of massive leaps and bounds forward, I've sort of tinkered with a number of things, got some stuff fixed up. Things are running reasonably nicely now. It's going quite well. So I don't know how long the summary video on Sunday will be because I don't know how much I don't have that much to say about what I've been doing today. But it should. But I'll try and give a bit of a sort of coverage of what I've been doing. There'll be a summary video for the Minecraft runs coming out on Saturday. I've recorded that. I recorded that earlier today as a sort of bit of a test to see if I could talk constantly for a little while without having massive throat issues, basically. And so that wasn't too bad. So that'll be coming out on Saturday, and the streams for those, of course, happen every Monday. So come along on a Monday evening to watch me and friends streaming Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons, and Space Shuttles. There is also the second part of my Factorio LTN tutorial coming out tomorrow, so I think that's probably something that's going to be very relevant to most people's interests. And with any luck, well, the first LTN tutorial did pretty well. Not quite as well as the spaceship tutorial did, but still pretty well. So I was happy with it anyway. So there'll be more tutorials to come as I come up with ideas and have the time to make them. So plenty more content over on the YouTube channel. Lots of things for to watch between when I'm not streaming. So yes, please do. There's goodness knows how many hours of Factorio on there. Thank you, Arctic. Yeah, it's the dreaded COVID. It's after managing to avoid it for 2.5 years, it's finally got me. So I'm not at my best, shall we say. And Morton, to answer your question, the rocket part icon down here blinking away is telling me that Tulip is complaining about rocket parts, oh no, yeah, Tulip is complaining about rocket parts. Why is Tulip complaining about rocket parts? Oh, probably because it doesn't have any to launch more Vitamelange rockets or something like that. The complaint will be down here somewhere. Here. Why are you complaining? What do you when do you complain? I've forgotten. If run out of rocket parts, okay, yeah. So it's that's actually, to be honest, is out of date and completely unnecessary now because I used to launch Vitamelange from here by rocket. So I had this thing set up to alert me if I ran out of rocket parts in my for my rockets to take off. However, I'm not doing that anymore. The only thing I use rockets for now is to take the rocket parts away to wherever they're actually needed. So I don't need that anymore. So I can cut that out. Thank you for pointing it out. Oh no, the ship hasn't quite arrived yet. Have I put these? Yes, I decided to put some yellow chests in. And I put them outside the orange area on the map. Alright, so yes, I will I'll wait for the wait for the spaceship to arrive and do whatever it's going to do, especially as it's very nearly here. But then, as I say, I shall then be escaping. Whole minute left to wait. Oops. Accidental lightning. So I do seem to have the attacks seem to have stopped for now, but there is definitely a nest there that's getting quite a lot of cooking. So we'll hopefully this energy glaive will go over there and sort it out fairly soon. I haven't got any arcospheres yet. It's on my it's on the sort of on the to-do list. So once I get round to starting to think about Deep Space Science 3, then I'll start going out and getting arcospheres and start processing them and stuff like that. I admit I do have a bit of a feeling it's going to be one of those things where I'll think, oh, if I wish I'd started doing this ages ago while I was messing around with other things and just getting them stockpiled. I haven't done that because that'd be far too organised, and I wasn't really feeling up to starting something new and clever at this point. But there's plenty of other things that do need fiddling with yet, so I'll probably get onto that. There'll be other yaks to shave while I'm waiting for that to happen. Where are you going now? Are you going up to that one? That's fair enough. That's a reasonably sensible way to go. Oh, there's my spaceship. Right, so now we have a flood of construction bots coming in and taking all of those laser cannons away. Getting all of that built up. Now, I was going to say it won't have long to wait because the trains swap over really quickly, but actually we've got to fuel the ship up as well, so it's going to take a little while. Why is this empty? Why are they... Oh, they're basically empty because they've just dumped the fuel straight out into these tanks. Okay, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, the thing is, these tanks are each 4 times the size of one of these tanks. So to fill this tank up would require all 4 of these to be completely full and just dump straight across into it. Which will happen, kind of, but it's... Yeah, it's a slightly slow process. What I ideally should do is put in an area of spaceship floor here, and then put some of these booster tanks in as use them as storage. Partly because then they're the right size to just dump stuff across the fuel straight across, and they're much more efficient use of the space. But also because pumping from tank pump under is going to be quicker than trying to pull it through all of these tanks. So yeah, never mind. Maybe some other time. Not right now though. Okay, so we are getting some defences put in, and hopefully, even though this probably isn't going to complete the wall all the way around, certainly not going to complete the wall, it's probably not even going to complete the laser turrets. Hopefully, there'll be enough that any biters that do decide they want to come over and say hello will be distracted by seeing a turret on the way in, and will go and investigate that instead. There's a bit of a gap here. There's a big gap across here. So if they could fill in some of these gaps, that'd be quite nice. Some of this gap, that'd be quite nice. But otherwise, I think we've got a reasonable level of defensiveness around there. Like I said, there's a bit of a gap there as well. But yeah, I mean that's okay now because the ship will go again like that, and then it'll come back again in 15 minutes with some more laser turrets, and we'll get the rest of it brought in. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Turn that off. Turn that one on. Oh okay, actually I do have complete coverage. Nice. Hang on, how is that even possible? No, that's showing predicted turret cover. Oh, unless... Ah, no, turrets have been put in. I just couldn't see because the map hadn't updated. Because it's outside radar range, so these bits hadn't updated. But yeah, so looking at this, I do have complete coverage all the way around. So yeah, it's safe as long as the biters don't manage to barge through. Okay, right. I am definitely going to call this the end of the stream now. So thank you everyone for coming. Don't forget to come back on Monday for the Minecraft stream, and probably next Wednesday. I think I'm around next Wednesday as normal. For my normal Factorio stream, it'll be on its normal day once again, and there'll be other bits and pieces throughout, as I was talking about earlier. Thanks, Kodiak. Yes, I'll doing my best to recover. That's why I'm stopping early and just gonna get to bed. So hopefully tomorrow I'll feel a lot better, but we'll see how it goes. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.